This is a rigid miter saw. It's the R4222T miter saw, and these things can get out of square over time. It doesn't happen usually right away unless you get it out of the box and it doesn't square up. But one way you can tell is if you are making 45s or 90s and they just don't fit right. So I'll show you how to square this. It's pretty easy stuff. First off, make sure the power is cut and this is not on. And you can tell by switching this on, the light will not come on, or just unplug it or have the power off to it. I will try to do this with two hands, see if I can. My cuts were not coming out very square. There's just enough on this one to get the blade up and down, but you get it square on here. Here's a bit of a gap on this. Sorry for the angle, I'm trying to do this with basically one hand. So we got a gap on this side, and it's pretty much up against right there, but we've got a gap right here, so I've got to square that up. Now right here, on the inseam here, it is actually squared with this part, so it is squared with the blade right now, but not the fence, and that is where the gap is. So what you've got to do is take these fence guards, the top of these off. There's two of them. Go to the back and go counterclockwise on these if you're looking at it that way. Counterclockwise almost all the way out. And then you've got the guards here. They don't actually come out to the left or to the right, I guess on the right side. But what you've got to do is you've got to go in and lift them off. And then there are 4 bolts down there that you've got to get into, and the saw should have come with this, and I do not know what size this is because I've still got the original one, so I have not measured. But what you do is you get it in here and you loosen them up, and with these counterclockwise, and then you can move this freely back and forth, and then after I do that, we'll go ahead and square this. I've gotten all 4 of them loose. All you need to do is get them loose. You don't really have to back them out a lot. Half a turn, even 1 turn on each is fine. And then it gets pretty loose here. There's not a whole lot of give, but the fact that you can adjust this at all is actually pretty nice. Some saws you can go way back, way forward, but this one's just a little bit. So I will go ahead and get this squared up. But yeah, that's basically how you do it. And if you have your blade down, you want to make sure, if you're measuring, sorry, I'm trying to do this with basically just one hand and filming it, is you want to not try to get the teeth in there. Don't have your square hit the teeth because that will throw you off a little bit. You want it butted up against just the flat part of the blade. One tip with this that could be kind of helpful is once you've got it all lined up, if you bump it, it's going to move all over the place. So once you've got it lined up on one side, tighten it down almost tight on one part, line it up again, tighten that piece back down, and then square it again, and then tighten the other side, and then yet square it again. It seems like a hassle, and it is a little bit, but if you want really clean 90-degree cuts or really accurate cuts, whatever angle you're going for, you're gonna have to put just a little bit of time into this. It's not difficult, it's just ever so slightly time consuming. One thing I forgot to mention is that you do want this set to 0. And if you have not used this saw before and you're getting this out of the box, the way to do that is press down here, pop this up, and you can move it, and it will click into 0. It's got a couple different angles that it'll click into. 0 is the one of them. That's the main one it should be set to. And then you just push that down, and there you go. It's pretty secure. So once you get that done, if you're not getting correct measurement when you're trying to square it, that's a big culprit of why. Thanks for watching the video. I hope this helped.